time to tell President Bola Tinubu enough is enough. Oh, really? What is going on here? Okay, guys, let's find out. But before then, guys, if you're just joining us, please kindly subscribe to this channel. Share this video, let it go viral. Let Nigerians understand what is going on in the Nigerian political landscape. I beg, drop your comments below the comment section. Nigerians being led to believe by President Tinubu's spin doctors that things will get better under the present administration should wake up and smell the coffee. It is time to draw the line. It is almost a year now since President Bola Tinubu has been in office, and from the policies the administration has implemented, it leaves the unmistakable impression that the well-being of the Nigerian people is the least of his concerns. It is no rocket science, and one certainly does not need to dispel that thus far into the tenure. The Tinubu administration is on a trajectory of unprecedented mass population and impoverishment of the Nigerian people. On the flip side, the administration seems clearly hell-bent on transferring our patrimony into the hands of an identified 1% of Nigerians in the president's circle of influence, thereby creating a two-speed Nigerian made up of the vast poor and few rich. The principal policy instrument through which the administration has been doing this is the removal of subsidies. President Tinubu told us he was removing subsidies on petroleum products because it amounted to a misapplication of resources in which the government commit huge sums of money to supply petroleum products, which benefits only a few well-connected people and players in the sector who invariably do not supply the product but pocket the money. The president said the money thus saved will go into providing social and infrastructural services, but that will benefit indigent Nigerians directly. But it has now been established convincingly a couple of months ago by the IMF, the World Bank, and has recently, as last week, by CEO of Rain Oil Gabriel, that the government is still paying subsidies amounting to about 2 times over the above what was being paid previously. In effect, the subsidy component that President Tinubu removed was the one that provided succor for the Nigerian people, replacing it with so-called palliatives that merely provide temporary relief but are unsustainable. The subsidy on petroleum products he now pays under the table goes to people in a circle. So who is deceiving who? Similarly, when the administration increased tariff on electricity recently, it was hike on the huge subsidies the government pays to the sector to sustain power distribution and supply in the country. But then the previous government has told us that he had totally withdrawn the huge subsidies on electricity. Why then is the Tinubu administration telling us it had been subsidized to a sector that had been privatized and accepted to run on market principles? Again, it is clear that the administration has been paying private electricity companies with public funds by the new electricity tariff. The administration is transferring and imposing on the people the burden of paying to sustain the owners of the electricity sector in business for their insufficient service. To all this in the rising inflation rate, which has been recorded at nearly 34% by the latest figures from the National Bureau of Statistics, it is a reflection of the ever-rising price of commodities and services, which have gone beyond the reach of the Nigerians, occasioned by the policies of the Tinubu administration. To make matter worse, prices of petroleum products and electricity are both projected to shoot up before the end of the year, adding more hardship to the already overburdened people. If Nigerians are under any illusions that things will get any better, as President Tinubu's public has been leading us to believe, they had better think again. President Tinubu is riding on the belief that his presidency is a reward owed him for his contribution to installing democracy after years of struggle to halt the military from power. That is the underlying idea of his Emilocal proclamation. It may well be so, but the fight for democracy had different fathers and followed different trajectories. The record have it that at the time President Tinubu fought his democracy struggle from the comfort of his birthhome abroad, where he was also conducting his private businesses. But it must be said that President Tinubu did not experience the inside of a cold tank underground cell covered in filth like some of us did. He also was not paraded around DSS and police detention centers, crowded with deadly cutthroats and other criminals types like a good many of us whose travels in the struggle for democracy were for the benefit of Nigerian people, not for the pages of newspapers. His role in the democratic struggle, though notable, was however grossly embezzled by the paid publicists who promoted it beyond what he really contributed. That, however, does not grant him the sole right to dreadfully treat Nigeria and Nigerians as economic charters, as he is currently doing. Nigerians should realize that President Tinubu is embarking on a course of action that is likely to snap the already fragile social and economic fabric of the country if we let him. He has distorted the economic framework of the country by disrupting the flow of economic activities in both the real and informal sectors. He has jacked up interest rates, making the cost of investment and businesses prohibitive. He has eventually depleted our foreign reserve in a furious and foolish attempt to prop up the naira against major currencies. And most damaging of all, he has embarked on a war against the subsidies that provided the cushion for businesses to strive and for millions of Nigerians to have a sense of social belonging. No administration in the history of Nigeria has proven to be so anti-people than this administration. Not even the military dictators that have ruled this country have treated us with such a scale of contempt and disdain, from the president's rights down to his courts and paste policy works. Nigerians are people who can accept anything, even glaring incompetence mixed with concessions, and move on without complaint or pushback. Now that Nigerians have seen and experienced the trajectory of Tinubu administration and its intention to further subject us to contentious misery, we should borrow a leaf from what President Tinubu did in the past. He fought oppressive government, military and civilian, for democracy and social justice in his country. Now that having ascended to power, he is seen to be embarking on a similar part of economic and social injustice, Nigerians must in many ways tell him enough is enough. We will not tolerate your oppressive economic and social policies anymore. Okay. Wow. This is the right